Every action has a reason. In Chinese, how do you explain your purpose or motivation? Today, we'll learn how to use 为了 to connect a goal with an action.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's Grammar Explainer. If you're tackling HSK3 or honestly just wanting your spoken Chinese to sound a lot more natural, you are in the perfect place. We absolutely love taking these core grammar concepts and breaking them down so they're super easy to actually use in your everyday life. Today, we're zeroing in on a really specific, highly useful little word that helps you express your goals and intentions. So get comfortable and let's dive right in. But real quick before we hit the official grammar rule, let me throw a question out there. 你为什么学习汉语? 你为什么学习汉语? Why do you study Chinese? I know it can definitely feel a little overwhelming sometimes, right? But for me personally, I study Chinese in order to travel around China and, to be able to make friends with native speakers. That's really the main goal. So notice how I just said in order to travel and to be able to make friends. That expresses the purpose behind all the hard work. And in Chinese, there's one essential word we use to nail that exact idea. 什么是为了? What exactly is 为了? Okay, so the crucial thing to remember here is that 为了 or 为了 is a preposition. Its entire job in a sentence is to introduce the purpose of an action. In English, you translate it as for the sake of, or in order to. Think of it kind of like a bridge. On one side, you have the action you're taking. On the other side, you have the reason why you're doing it, your goal. 为了 just connects them. Whenever you want to say, I'm doing X in order to achieve Y, boom, you use 为了. It's incredibly handy. Section 2. Everyday examples of 为了 out in the wilds. Let's look at a sentence straight from the HSK3 source material. Listen closely to the flow here. 为了这次比赛 JJ 准备了一个多月希望他能拿到好成绩为了这次比赛 JJ 准备了一个多月希望他能拿到好成绩 To translate that, for this competition, my older sister prepared for more than a month, hoping she can get good results. See how it kicks off right away with 为了这次比赛 for this competition? Just imagine crossing an entire month off a calendar. I mean, that is some serious dedication. The action here is preparing for over a month. But why? What's the purpose of all that sweating and studying? Well, the purpose is the competition. So in Chinese, we put that purpose first, introduced by 为了. 为了这次比赛, in order to prepare for this competition, followed by a quick pause, and then the action. 姐姐准备了一个多月. It perfectly sets up the reason right at the top, giving the listener total context immediately. But hey, 为了 doesn't always have to live at the very beginning of the sentence. Check out this second example. 了解历史是为了更好地了解现在. 了解历史是为了更好地了解现在. Understanding history is for the purpose of better understanding the present. Now, did you catch where the grammar structure landed? It's smack in the middle. It comes right after the verb 是, which means is. So literally, understanding history is in order to better understand the present. It's a really common and honestly quite an elegant way to use it. Action A is for the purpose of goal B. It's like using a giant magnifying glass to link an ancient artifact straight to a modern smartphone. You're taking the action of understanding history, 了解历史. And why? Well, the goal is to better understand the present, 更好地了解现在. And 为了 acts as this perfect anchor right in the middle, tying those two thoughts together. It just flows so naturally. Section 3. Let's practice together. All right, time to put you to the test. Try to guess the answer in your head before I reveal it. Challenge number 1. The sentence is blank, 他每天都跟中国朋友练习口语, which means blank. Every day she practices spoken language with her Chinese friends. And your hint word is Hanyu, which is the Chinese language. So how would you combine 为了 and Hanyu to complete the thought at the start of this sentence? You want to say, in order to something about Chinese she practices every day. And the answer is 为了学好汉语. 为了学好汉语. In order to learn Chinese well. You could actually just say 为了汉语 for Chinese, but throwing in that verb 学好 to learn well, it just makes the whole thing sound incredibly natural. If you got that right, awesome job. You took the ultimate goal, learning Chinese well, and used 为了 to introduce it, totally explaining why she's out there practicing every single day. Let's try just one more. Challenge number 2.
Blank 我们每年都应该去医院做一次身体检查.
Okay, that's a bit of a mouthful, but you definitely know these words. Blank, every year we all should go to the hospital to do a physical checkup. And your hint word this time is jiànkāng, which means health. What's the core purpose of going to the hospital for a checkup every year? How do we use 为了 with 健康 to fill in that blank? Yep, you probably guessed it. The answer is simply 为了健康 for health. Making the full sentence, 为了健康，我们每年都应该去医院做一次身体检查. For the sake of health, we should get a checkup every year. That right there is textbook HSK3 grammar, perfectly executed. The logic is crystal clear. The action is the annual checkup, and it's done specifically for the purpose of maintaining health. You are absolutely crushing this.
Section 4, grammar summary and a quick peek at what's coming up next. Look, if you only take away one single sentence from today's explainer, make it this one. The preposition 为了 introduces the purpose of an action. It is literally your bridge between what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's such a small word, but it instantly levels up your Chinese, making it sound so much more advanced and expressive. So I highly encourage you to try writing 2 or 3 of your own sentences using 为了 today. You're doing amazing. Keep up that momentum.
And speaking of momentum, let's quickly tease our next explainer. Next time, we're going to tackle another incredibly important preposition, which is 像. Now, 像 has 2 main jobs. First, it introduces the direction of an action, like moving towards something. Second, it introduces the target or object of an action, and it pairs constantly with common verbs like 借, to borrow, 介绍, to introduce, or xuéxí, to learn. It's going to be a fantastic deep dive, so definitely join us for that one to keep building out those preposition skills.
But right before we go, I want to leave you with this question to think about. 为了你的梦想，你今天要做什么？为了你的梦想，你今天要做什么？ For the purpose of your dream, what will you do today? Answer that question in your head, or better yet, write it down in Chinese. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for this explainer. Keep practicing, keep working towards those goals, and we'll see you next time. Now you know how to explain your goals in Chinese with 为了. Follow for more practical Chinese expressions and grammar you won't find in textbooks.